Monsieur le Premier Ministre, Your Excellencies, most honorable members of the jury, thank you for taking the time to see fools run the show. Distinguished Chairman, Master Bellboy, may your foolishness guide us. Dear members of the opposition, I hope that this little trip of yours in Cannes hasn't tired you too much. Dear friends from the government, ladies and gentlemen, debating family, good evening. I have a brother. He's pretty much like me, except that he is the reasonable guy in the family, graduated from one of his top schools, always followed the rules, never done anything stupid in his entire life. We would all agree here to say that he is a wise man. But the only thing he's ever run in his entire life, it's a marathon. And even that, it was quite too much to handle. Guys like him don't take charge, ladies and gentlemen, because, in fact, only fools run the show. And tonight, as the Minister of History, I shall reveal to you the fundamental law behind all this. Whether we like it or not, fools naturally become kings, and kings naturally become fools. These will be my 2 points. But before that, I'd like to come back on what Ms. Thiebaud just foolishly claimed and set the record straight. First, our Prime Minister Anatole defined very clearly the fool, who is someone that lacks in judgment. And you can be well-educated and lack judgment. That happens. Then you said that fools put on a show, they don't run it. But tell me, how can you control a fool? In fact, you're a bigger fool if you think that you can control a fool, because they are unpredictable. And last, you claim that a wise man knows when to entertain people and when not to. But I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's not in any case a wise thing to do, to joke around with climate change when our planet is under such threat and where generations are threatened to fall. So, now to my first point. Fools are more likely to take charge because they're more audacious and more entertaining. And actually, well, I was a little unfair to my brother early on because from time to time, well, he gets drunk. And when he does, well, he becomes Dr. Jekyll becomes Mr. Hyde. He is transfigured into the Jesus of nonsense. And everybody loves his ideas. The other day, no joke, I saw him on the highway. He was running naked, pretending to be a unicorn. And the worst thing of that, no, thank you. And the worst thing, he was followed by a bunch of disciples doing the exact same thing. He isn't predictable and controllable, but he's so much more fun. Probably you wish you had a brother like him. Probably you wish you could unleash the fool from time to time. Probably that's exactly what you do. You let the fool run the show because you want to break free. And the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, yes, go ahead.
Break free of what?
Exactly. You want to break free of reason, which you tend to impose on this society. Because the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, let me put this way. Fools and rules, they have nothing in common. Rules tell you that you cannot fly, and fools, they simply show you the moon. Their lack of judgment is their ultimate strength, and we're completely fascinated by them. We even invented a field of study to try and understand them. We call it political sciences. Thank you. But let's get a little bit more serious. Now to my second point. When it comes to serious matters, reason and wisdom are more appealing. That's probably true. But unfortunately, kings turn into fools as soon as they get to the top. Like my brother, they get drunk, but not on vodka, rather on power. Yes, please.
Are you calling all politicians fools?
Only politicians that run the show, and unfortunately some politicians do not run the show, like it happens right now. Because throughout history, ladies and gentlemen, we've seen wise men taking control and becoming fools. Caesar, stabbed in the back by his own son, Napoleon lost everything on a battle he couldn't win. And Che Guevara captured, tortured, and murdered during yet another revolution. They all tasted that feeling of almightiness, which is the most definite sign of foolishness. No, thank you. That's the delusion of grandeur. That's the curse of power. Be it tyrants sacrificing their people to their own personal cult, or Democrats courting the masses because they fear for their re-election, people in power will do whatever it takes to stay in charge. That's how, for instance, during the Irish Revolution, thousands of people were slaughtered. And the poet Patrick Pearse, referring to the British forces, said, "The fools, the fools, the fools. They left us our Fenian dead." So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Fools have been running the show since the dawn of society, from Caesar to my drunk brother. And it has worsened in the past few decades, especially with the rise of mass media in Western democracies. The greater good has been replaced by the greater goof, and there is not much to do about it. That's what my dear colleague Marine will further explain to you just after a 6-minute break. I'm sorry about that. But meanwhile, please don't let the opposition fool you, because look at them. What I see is a bunch of reasonable guys with reasonable suits and reasonable ideas. But in the end, remember that only fools run the show. Accept the motion.